So now we shall discuss the what are the various powers of the parliament. So let us write on the heading. So what are the various powers of parliament? Various powers of parliament. So let me just give you a brief of it. So basically, powers of parliament is or can be described as in 4 different points. We shall first write down what these points are. So powers of the parliament can be talking based off the executive power, and it has the constituent power. Also, it has the power of source of information, and it has the financial power. So what are we talking about? The executive power means that the executive draws its source from the legislature, that is the parliament. What are we talking about? We are further trying to say that the executive, which consists of the council of ministers, are basically member of parliaments which is directly elected to the legislature through parliamentary elections. So that's about executive. Now the constituent role further means that there need not be a separate constituent assembly to amend the constitution. There need not be a separate constituent assembly to amend the constitution. Which means the constitution amendment power is also imparted to the constituent role of parliament. And it is also powerful in terms of source, which means the parliament is the authentic source of information, is the most authentic source of information, anything related to Indian legislature. So the parliament is the most authentic source of information in the legislature. Now, how can you question this information? You can question this information through, you can ask questions. How will the question be asked? There can be many ways. There can be motions, there can be resolutions, there can be question hour, etc. We shall discuss that later. Now, what is the financial role of parliament? The financial role of parliament is that it is the financial authority or the financial custodian of the consolidated fund of India, which means it is the financial authority or the financial custodian of the consolidated fund of India, So that is it about the various powers of parliament. So we shall discuss the various powers of parliament once again. First of all, the executive draws the power from basically the legislature, that is the council of ministers headed by the prime minister basically draw their power from the parliament, that is the council of ministers are basically member of parliaments who are elected either to the Lok Sabha or to the Rajya Sabha, which is basically the parliament. The second power is that the power of parliament, second power is that it is a constituent power. That means there need not be a separate constituent assembly to amend the constitution. The parliament by the constitution is itself given various powers to amend the constitution, but not touching the basic structure of constitution. Third, it is the most authentic source of information regarding to any legislative processes, any legislative action which can be questioned in the parliament by many processes such as the motions, resolutions, question hour, 0 hour, etc. And the last, the most important one, the parliament is given the financial authority. That is, the parliament is the financial authority or is the financial custodian of the most important fund from which all the expenses of government is met. That is the consolidated fund of India.